अभय शरविंदा भक्तिवेदांता स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंता कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद रत कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Oh, glorious assembly devotees, Hare Krishna. Oh, glorious assembly devotees, Hare Krishna. Oh, glorious assembly devotees, Hare Krishna. Oh, glorious Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Oh, glorious Shri Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthapati Shrimatara Swami Namani. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthapati Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sannavadi Paschatadeshadarine. Jai Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
We're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila. First, this is Adi Lila, chapter 12, entitled The Expansions of Advaita Acharya and Gadadhar Pandit. Text 50. प्रतिग्रह कबुना करिबे राजदान। विषयिरान कैले दुष्ट हयमान। प्रतिग्रह कबुना करिबे राजदान। विषयिरान कैले दुष्ट हयमान। प्रतिग्रह कबुना करिबे राजदान। विषयिरान कैले दुष्ट हयमान। Acceptance of alms. Kabo,
Abu,
at any time.
at any time.
Na,
Na,
not.
not.
Koribe,
Koribe,
should do.
should do.
Rajadana,
Rajadana,
charity by kings.
charity by kings.
Vishayira,
Vishaya,
of men who are materialistic.
of men who are materialistic.
Anna,
Anna,
food.
food.
Kaile,
Kaile,
by eating.
by eating.
Dushta,
Dusha,
polluted.
polluted.
Haya,
Haya,
becomes.
becomes.
Mana,
Mana,
mind.
mind.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Advaita Acharya, my spiritual master, should never accept charity from rich men or kings, because if a spiritual master accepts money or grains from such materialists, his mind becomes polluted. Purport. It is very risky to accept money or food from materialistic persons, for such acceptance pollutes the mind of the charity's recipient. According to the Vedic system, one should give charity to sannyasis and brahmanas, because one who thus gives charity becomes free from sinful activities. Formerly, therefore, brahmanas would not accept charity from a person unless he were very pious. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this instruction for all spiritual masters. Materialistic persons who are not inclined to give up their sinful activities like illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating sometimes want to become our disciples, but unlike professional spiritual masters who accept disciples regardless of their condition, Vaishnavas do not accept such cheap disciples. One must at least agree to abide by the rules and regulations for a disciple before a Vaishnavacharya can accept him. In fact, a Vaishnava should not even accept charity or food from persons who do not follow the rules and regulations of the Vaishnava principles. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be with all of you again in Paris. So, here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives us a glance into Lord Chaitanya's Madhya Lila, actually, or pastimes in Jagannath Puri, where Kamalakanta Vishwas, who was a servant of Advaita Acharya, knew that Advaita Acharya owes some money, and he wrote a letter to King Prataparudra with the desire to liquidate this debt of Advaita Acharya. And somehow or other, Lord Chaitanya got this letter, and he was extremely displeased with Kamalakanta Vishwas. Although in the same letter, Kamalakanta Vishwas recognized that Advaita Acharya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that his expansion of the Lord. Still, he was trying to liquidate his debt. And and Lord Chaitanya was furious to know this. He said, on one side, he didn't say to him, actually, he forbid for him to appear before him. On one side, you accept Lord Advaita Acharya as Supreme Lord, who he actually is, but at the same time you try to make him poor, like a beggar. Yes. The Supreme Lord is never poor, he's never a beggar, he's always full of opulences. So he would forbid Kamalakanta Vishwas to come in his association. And Kamalakanta was very sad because of this. But Advaita Acharya glorious to be punished by, and he explained how many different personalities, and he himself was also punished because the Lord very much respected Advaita Acharya. He always touched his feet and addressed him as his guru, practically speaking. And Advaita Acharya was not at all satisfied with this. He wanted to show the whole world that the Lord is, Lord Chaitanya is his master, and that he himself is his servant. And that he couldn't achieve this, actually, that Advaita Acharya would accept him as his servant. So he devised a plan, and he started to preach Yoga Vishishta in a Mayavadi way. In Mayavadi book, he was preaching that Jnana is superior to Bhakti. Very forcefully. And then Lord Chaitanya couldn't stand this anymore and came to him, to his place, and directly challenged him. Advaita, tell me which is higher, Bhakti or Jnana? And Advaita Acharya, he was roaring like a lion. He said, Jnana is always superior to Bhakti. Lord Chaitanya lost his external awareness and started to beat Advaita Acharya very severely. He was beating him and beating him. So much so that Sita Thakurani, wife of Advaita Acharya, was afraid that the Lord would kill all poor Brahmana. Yes, and he pleaded for his survival, actually. like Nagapatnis pleaded to Lord Krishna when he was dancing on the hoods of Kalya Naga. Yes. And then Advaita Acharya was ecstatic to receive such punishment from the Lord. Yes. And he was in ecstasy explaining, yes, today I was accepted as a servant because Lord punished me. So this punishment is actually great mercy that Lord can show. Great mercy. And he's consoling Kamalakanta Vishwas that don't be sad. I was punished like this, and this is perfect blessing. And Mukunda was also punished like this. Mukunda, he was one of the most intimate singers for he sang so beautifully that everyone cried when they heard Mukunda singing. And so, but Mukunda was very soft-hearted person. Jai Shri Radha Paridishwar ki, Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki, Jai Shri Jomita ki, Jai Gita Gaur Pramanande. So Mukunda was a very soft-hearted person, and he associated with different personalities, and it seemed that he blended with them somehow or other. He didn't protest to their philosophy, and Lord Chaitanya was greatly dissatisfied with this. And he said, this guy acts like a pure Vaishnava in our association, sings very nicely, but when he's associating with other people like Mayavadis, he accepts their philosophy. So on one side, he's offering me flowers, and on the other side, he beats me with iron rod on the head. Yes. So I don't want to see his face. And he said that he shouldn't come before me, because at that time he showed mercy to everyone and he accepted everyone. But they saw that he neglects Mukunda. And everyone said, why don't you fall also for Mukunda? And he explained that he behaves like this and that he will not accept him. And Mukunda was extremely sad to hear this. And he was crying. And then devotees asked the Lord, when Mukunda will be able to see you? And he said, only after millions of lifetimes he'll be able to see you. And then devotees came to Mukunda and explained to him, what can we do? The Lord said, only after millions of lifetimes you can see him. But Mukunda started to jump in ecstasy. He said, I will see. Again, I will see again. Yes, so the Lord promised, after millions of lifetimes, I will see him again. So this is opportunity for great celebration. So he was in such an ecstasy, and Lord immediately could understand that he's ready to wait millions and millions of lifetimes for his mercy. And so he was so pleased with Mukunda's devotion that he immediately called him in his presence. And devotees came to Mukunda and he said, come to the Lord. But he was oblivious to this world and he was just jumping up and down. I will see. So, and then Advaita Acharya even gives an example how Mother Shachi was punished by the Lord herself, who is actually Bhakti personified, who is Lord's mother, and the Lord said that he will not give her Prema Bhakti. One would think, how he will not give her Prema Bhakti? She's personification of Prema Bhakti. Yes, but he considered her an offender, that she offended Advaita Acharya. because yes, she offended Advaitacharya by criticizing him in her mind only, that Advaita is actually Dvaita. Advaita means non-dual. Advaita means that he makes duality. So that he inspired his first son, Vishwarupa, to take sannyas, and now he will inspire also her second son, yes, Vishwambar, her Nimar, to accept sannyas. Yes. And although she didn't say anything to anyone, the Lord was extremely displeased by this. Actually, he wanted to teach every one of us how dangerous is Vaishnava Aparat. That no one who performs Vaishnava Aparat, who commits Vaishnava Aparat, will be able to achieve Krishna Prema. Yes. And this was confirmed in another pastime of Lord Chaitanya, when he delivered Jagai and Madai. Then, when these two great sinners were delivered and accepted in his association, he started a kirtan. And in this kirtan, Lord Chaitanya suddenly became completely black. Yes. And he asked Advaitacharya, "How do I look like?" And he said, "You look like just Syama Shama Sundar from Vrindavan." And then he ordered kirtan, kirtan, and his complexion turned golden again. And he said that all those sins of Jaga and Madai will go to those who blaspheme Vaishnavas, who commit Vaishnava Aparat. Yes. So, can you imagine? The sins of Jaga and Madai are unlimited. Yes. The scripts in Yamaloka were on the verge of nervous breakdown because they couldn't record their sins as fast as they performed them. and there were they didn't use computers. There was no place for the files of Jaga and Madai to store them. Yes. Maybe they didn't have enough storage with their computers to record all the sins of Jaga and Madai. Yes, they were killing, they were raping, they were arsoning houses. That was one of their most fun pastime. I see people burn to death. Yes, they were drinking. They were drunkards, of course, and killing cows and so on. So unlimited sins, and if we commit Vaishnava Aparat, these sins will go unto us. So it's extremely important to understand that the Lord doesn't tolerate Vaishnava Aparat. Yes. So be very careful never to commit Vaishnava Aparat, not even in your mind. Not even in your mind. And here Lord Chaitanya explains that Advaitacharya, who is his spiritual master, shouldn't accept charity from materialistic people. Yes. Such charity from materialistic people pollutes the mind. So if a charity from materialists can pollute the mind of Advaitacharya, according to Lord Chaitanya, what to speak of others? It's very important to understand that one should keep his spiritual life very pure. immaculately pure. Yes. Therefore, beware of any contamination. We live in the time of constant contamination. From every nook and corner of this existence in this material world, some contamination is blasting to us. Yes. Just walking on the street. Is this phone dying?
Yes, 15%. But still it will
Yeah.
do the job.
Okay. So, yes, even if we walk on the street, there are so many different messages that invite us to sinful life that one cannot avoid, even if one tries to. So we should be very careful not to willingly pollute our mind also. Yes. There are so many temptations in this world. So to maintain purity of existence is so much harder. So much harder. Yes. And we should be careful not to accept charity for our benefit, personal benefit. Never for our personal benefit. Yes, because if we accept charity for our personal benefit, we become polluted. Especially if we get charity from materialists. We can see Prabhupada also, he was writing these purports and he was warning everyone not to accept charity from materialists. He says, yes, that it's very risky to accept money or food from materialistic persons. Yes, because they pollute the mind. And why they pollute the mind? It's not just some magic that happens. It's actually very practical and obvious. Because these people have some certain set of values in their life. And since everyone wants to be happy, everyone wants to be happy. This is our constitutional nature, Anandamaya Prasad. We want to be happy. We cannot avoid it. It's our nature. Every living entity. So these sinful people, they convey their conviction, in this particular way I can be happy. Yes, in this particular sinful way I can be happy. And if such people give donation and we accept it, we subtly accept their way of living as bona fide. Understand? Point. If we accept their charity, that means that we agree with them. Would you accept a gift from an enemy who hates you and who performs atrocities against you? No. For example, Krishna himself showed this by his personal example when he came to Hastinapur to negotiate for peace with Duryodhana. Duryodhana accepted Krishna with great pomp. He even arranged for kirtan for the Lord because he knew the Lord is fond of kirtan. And he put Krishna on a golden throne, new one, just for Krishna. And he washed his feet and prepared the best kind of feast for the Lord. One would say this is perfect service. Who can serve the Lord as Duryodhana served the Lord? The best of devotees can't render such service as Duryodhana served the Lord. but the Lord didn't touch the feast. He said, I don't accept anything from you because you hate my devotees. Yes, and he went to the house of Vidura, and in the house of Vidura, uh, I believe just his wife was at home. Vidura was not at home at all, and she was so upset by this unexpected visit of the Lord, and offering banana peels instead of bananas, and throwing bananas away. But the Lord happily ate banana peels. He just rejected the most opulent feast, but gladly accepted banana peels. So this is very instructive. If you accept anything from those who are against the principles of devotional service, we accept their mentality. Subtly, we accept their mentality. We accept their values. We accept their perception of reality. And so, if we accept gifts, um, yes, then we pollute our mind. Um, so we should be very cautious. But on the other hand, we see that even Prabhupada went to these different houses of different people who were not living according to Vaishnava standards, and he accepted even prasad in such houses with his disciples. But this was not for his personal benefit, but for the benefit of the movement of Lord Chaitanya. He was ready to risk and accept this. So if we accept something for the benefit of the movement of Lord Chaitanya, we should also do this very cautiously. Not just that, yes, I do it for the Lord, not for my personal benefit. So we should be always cautious in dealings with materialists. We can see the Chaitanya, although King Prataparudra was pure devotee, he didn't want to meet with him because by definition the king is materialistic person dealing with wealth and living in opulence and enjoyment, material enjoyment and so on. Therefore, Lord didn't want to meet him. Although all his associates pleaded him to meet the king, that he's extremely first different kinds of appreciation. He sent him a piece of his cloth to King Prataparudra, and he also accepted his son. His son was coming regularly to the association of Lord Chaitanya, and his son was very reminded the Lord very much of Krishna by his appearance. Yes, he had a complexion like Tamar tree. Yes, he looked like Krishna. He was beautiful, lotus-like eyes, and whenever Lord Chaitanya saw him, he was reminded of Krishna. So he very much liked his association. Yes, so it's very important from these verses that we understand that we should shun away from materialistic influences. We should always be careful that we remain in touch with spiritual reality, because it's very easy to be distracted to sense enjoyment, because we are accustomed to satisfy our senses from time immemorial. Yes. And we can't live without sense gratification to some degree, even if we are devotees, because we have to survive. So, to understand this properly, the devotee is very careful. He is not artificially renounced, but this is again, therefore it is said that spiritual life is like a razor blade. You go on one side too much and you cut yourself, or on the other side you cut yourself. So if you try to renounce this world, and you renounce things that can be used for Krishna's service, this is dry renunciation, useless renunciation. Vairagam Bhagvata. Yes, useless renunciation. And if in the name of Yukta Vairagya we indulge in sense enjoyment, yes, I use it for Krishna, but I cheat myself, it's again detrimental for my spiritual life, in both ways. So one should be very humble. This is the instruction. One should be very humble and follow the instruction of spiritual master. Yes. Whatever spiritual master says, we should accept this. And of course, we should study scriptures very much, that we properly understand spiritual reality. If we don't understand properly, then we will be either fanatical or sentimental, and both is useless in our spiritual life. Yes. Fanaticism is useless because it's you don't have real faith. If you are fanatic, you don't have real faith. It's just appearance of faith. It's like you would have rusted iron, and you would just put a fresh color on it, and you see, it's very nice. But it's just a question of time when rust will go through this color. Yes, and your devotion will collapse. Yes, and therefore these fanatics can't hear philosophy, because every philosophy is danger to their faith, because maybe it doesn't fit completely to their idea of reality, of so-called reality, of their so-called reality. And if one is sentimental, then also he can't hear philosophy. Yes, because yes, Krishna is merciful. Whatever I do, any nonsense, Krishna is merciful. Yes, he's merciful. Definitely, he's merciful. He's merciful from time immemorial. But you're still in material world. Yes. Because he's so merciful that he allows you to entertain your desires as you wish. So we can have our desires, fulfill our desires as we wish. Yes. Krishna is completely free. He's not forcing us to accept his principles. No. Anyone can live according to his principles. Yes. Krishna is supremely merciful. Actually, spiritual existence means freedom. Yes. You're free. So this idea why Krishna allows something, this is material conditioning. Not allowing means slavery. You understand? For being spiritually awake, it means you have to become free. You're not slave to anything. Yes. You just accept your reality. And your reality is that you're Krishna's servant. This is very simple reality. Yes. But we should accept this reality only if you want to be free. Otherwise, actually to be free means to live according to our nature. Absolutely free is no one. Because we are Tathastha Shakti, dependent nature. We are always dependent either on Krishna's internal energy or external energy. No one can be independent. So absolutely free, it's not possible. Even Krishna is not absolutely free. He's subordinate to his devotees. He himself says so. Yes. So no one is completely free. Yes. But to accept our nature is freedom. It's only freedom that exists. So if you accept our nature, that we are servant of Krishna, and so we should act according to Krishna's desire, then we are free. Then we are really free. Yes. And we can become perfectly happy. As we said, we want to be happy. But it's not possible to be happy if we don't live according to our nature. Not possible. How can one be happy? If he wants to be a master, you're just miserable because you're in conflict with everyone else all the time, because everyone else also wants to be a master. Yes, this is the reality. So if one wants to live in harmony, he should accept his role as a servant. As a servant. Yes. I should understand, I'm a servant. But if many servants live together, one servant has idea, yes, this particular type of service is better than your idea of serving. Isn't it? It's natural for material world. Therefore, the only solution that we can live peacefully with one another is to follow Vaishnava etiquette. To follow etiquette. Even in material world, it's not possible to live in harmony without following certain values and etiquettes, isn't it? It's very important to understand. Yes. So, as Vaishnavas, we should follow Vaishnava etiquette on all levels of existence. Then we can be peaceful and happy. And we know, this is my master and I am his servant. And even if one is in the position of a master, if one is spiritual master, temple president, or whatever, he also have to understand, I am just a servant of anyone. If everyone has this mindset, he's actually liberated personality. Yes. Then we understand, yes, I'm just a servant of Radha Parisishvara. Yes. Whatever I do, I can meditate like this. I'm just a servant of Radha Parisishvara, of Radha and Krishna. If I'm cleaning the temple, I'm cleaning for their lordships. If I'm cooking, if I'm bringing up my children, if I do whatever, I go out and have some work, I consider myself just a servant of Radha and Krishna. Yes. So this is very important to understand. To have such meditation all the time. Yes. When I go to bed, I should also have this idea. Yes, I'm taking rest that I can serve properly to Radha and Krishna. Yes. If I have this meditation 24 hours a day, then I live in the spiritual world. Otherwise, I live in half or some portion in material world and some portion in spiritual world. if I don't have such meditation at all, I live only in material world. Yes. So we should develop such meditation, constant meditation. But this is not possible if we don't go deep in our sadhana. Only if we connect deeply with the holy name, it's possible to develop such meditation and to maintain it. Maybe when we hear it in one class, yes, this is good. But after half an hour we forget. Yes, because we are not connected. So this sadhana is, you should understand, everyone should understand, it's not something mechanical. Because people in this material world, they tend to think that these processes are something mechanical. I do it repeatedly, like I use some handle for some machine. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I can turn this handle unlimitedly and I can scroll the phone and the job is done, isn't it? But it's not the same with the holy name. Spiritual reality means personal relationship. And no personal relationship is mechanical. If you want to apply the principle of mechanics to personal relationship, you will destroy your relationship on any level of existence. Relationship with the child, relationship between husband and wife, any kind of relationship amongst friends will be destroyed if we apply mechanical approach. And the same is our relationship with Krishna. If we apply mechanical approach, our relationship will be destroyed. It's very simple to understand. So our sadhana should be deeply personal, not mechanical. So we should go deep in our sadhana, in our chanting. So when you chant, do only chanting and nothing else whatsoever. Yes. Go deep in your relationship with Krishna, with this prayerful mood. Please accept me. I'm unable to approach you. I'm conditioned from time immemorial. Please accept me in your service. And then we can meditate all day long. I'm just a servant of Radha and Krishna. Yes. In whatever task we perform, we have this meditation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is there any question or comment? Yes, please.
Yes, my question is about, you see there is a tendency nowadays to take vegetarian restaurant foods, etc., but it is then supported that it is vegetarian.
Yes.
So it's a little bit connected with this.
Yes.
So how to avoid this kind of mindset for devotees if they are actually not willing to take up the instructions of the Shastra, right? So they are a little bit independent in it.
Hare Krishna. If they're not willing to accept the statements of Shastra, there is no hope. Actually. Yes. Guru Sadhu Shastra is the standard of spiritual life. So, Guru, of course, is one who preaches Shastra. And Sadhu is example from the Shastra. So Shastra is extremely important. If one is not willing to accept the judgment of Shastra, there is little hope or no hope. Yes, vegetarian restaurants, non-devotional restaurants, I don't recommend them. I strongly advise against them. Yes, they definitely pollute our mind. And it's very good to even fast if we can't get prasad. But we can go to any shop and get some fruits, nuts, in vegetables, and we can offer it to Krishna. So no need to go to vegetarian restaurants that food there is prepared by materialistic people. And just this mentality will pollute our mind. Because how can we offer this food to Krishna? We should understand, food to Krishna is offered by Srimati Radharani. And how can be food prepared by some materialistic person who doesn't care for Krishna be offered to Krishna? Would Radharani offer such food to Krishna? What do you think? She wouldn't. So why would we? We are assistants of Srimati Radharani. At least we should perceive ourselves like this. So, nothing that is not worthy of offering to Krishna should be offered to Krishna. This should be our mentality. So, we can go and buy some fruits and nuts and offer to Krishna. If we are unable to cook ourselves to Krishna. Yes. Don't accept food from non-devotees. Yes. This is not beneficial for our spiritual life. Then we pose ourselves in the position of enjoyer. Understand? If I go to the some karmi restaurant, then I try to enjoy. Actually, I don't perceive myself as a servant, but as an enjoyer. Yes. Because I can live also with these fruits and roots and nuts. It's no problem. Yes. I will not die. If I'm on the verge of death, I can accept, of course, because then I accept it just to perform my service. But if I'm able to perform my service without accepting such food, then I shouldn't. Why should I? But if my existence is depending on such food, if I'm in such circumstances, then I just accept and go on with my service. Hare Krishna. As Prabhupada said to Harikish, he sent him to Russia, and he said, "But what will I eat there? There's nothing but meat." And he said, "You'll eat meat. What is the problem?" And what about my spiritual progress? To hell with your spiritual progress. Just perform your service. Hare Krishna. So yes, if there is nothing else to exist, there is no more possibility to buy some fruits and nuts and such things. And if we are in the verge of death, then we can go. But otherwise, we just go to because we try to enjoy. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is it possible that our mind be polluted by unqualified bhakta? And if it is, if there are some limits, like a balance, to find a balance, if I need to run away or be maybe more tolerant, and I need to work on myself first, there is a balance?
Yes. Yes, we should always work on ourselves. But it is mentioned that we should keep association with pure devotees. We shouldn't mix with materialists. In his commentary to Prima Bhakti Chandrika of Narottam Das Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that we shouldn't associate with materialists even in danger. But there is also said that we shouldn't mix also with mixed devotees. We shouldn't associate with mixed devotees, those who maintain material desires. So we may have many different desires because we are sadhakas, we are not perfect yet. But we shouldn't maintain them. We should pray and strive to get rid of them, not to harbor them. So yes, don't keep association of devotees who are not willing to become pure devotees. But I don't know, maybe you're asking about your husband. I don't know. It is said in Shastra that a woman should leave the husband who is sinful. So one who is not sinful is not to be rejected. And if somehow or other husband or wife is rejected, then we should never remarry. Then we are just dedicated to Krishna. We have left such improper association because of Krishna. So then we dedicate our life exclusively to Krishna only. Yes. It's hard to speak because there are so many cases all over the world. Divorced and remarried and divorced and remarried. So how can I know who is who? But I tell you this is extremely important. Don't ever remarry. If you divorce, remain dedicated only to Krishna. Yes. Hare Krishna. This answers your question.
I would think on it.
Hare Krishna. Is there anything else?
Nothing is there. And so we see with this letter and this debt some interesting thing that Advaita Acharya is made from the absolute to the relative. And we can see that it is also happening with Prabhupada teachings. Because now you see sometimes argument that we can take Prabhupada's materialistic instructions, we don't have to follow, but the spiritual instructions we can follow.
Can you give me some example?
And there are quite a lot, for example, we were talking about food. Now, this can be an example too, that it becomes a filtering of Prabhupada's instructions. Or, for example, Vanashram Dharma. Sorry, Vanashram Dharma, its material concept is not important to its material instruction, so we don't have to follow this, etc., etc. So there are actually quite a lot of examples. But the argument what they give, it is a materialistic and instruction. So they make Prabhupada from absolute, they make a relative. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. What is the question?
The question is about that how and what will be and the action for doing this, what will be the reaction? It will be the same as what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing. They will get punishment or how it works. That's it.
Yes. We should accept the instruction of our spiritual master, and we should strive to fulfill these instructions. Actually, instructions of our spiritual master are our mission in life. This is the only reason for our keeping our life. Yes, we should take the instruction like this. So, instructions of a guru or Srila Prabhupada's instructions are, of course, very important for our spiritual life. Some instructions can be interpreted differently by different disciples. Of course. For example, this you mentioned Varnashram Dharma. In many places, Prabhupada is speaking that Varnashram Dharma is not applicable for devotees also. That applies for general public, which is logical, because if you consider devotee as of particular caste or varna or ashrama, it's offense against the devotee. And there is also, you should accept something in its totality. That means Varnashrama Dharma can't exist without the king, for example. How can Varnashrama Dharma exist without the king? The king is the center point of Varnashrama Dharma. One who organizes and rules the society. If there is no king, there is no Varnashrama Dharma possible. So, if you want to establish Varnashrama Dharma, we should take over the whole society and coronate the king. Yes. Is there any possibility of society without a king? General society? No. There's no possibility. Yes. So, Prabhupada, with establishing Hare Krishna movement, he established the Brahminical movement. This was his purpose, because he said there are lack of brahmanas in this world who will teach people how to live, what are the principles of spiritual life. So we should be trained in Brahminical culture and teach everyone to surrender to Krishna. This is our foremost duty. And if one has ability to spread Varnashrama Dharma in the society, we support this wholeheartedly. Everyone should support. Yes, Prabhupada wanted to establish Varnashrama Dharma, but not limited to the devotees. But he wanted to establish whole society to be included in Varnashrama Dharma. So it's extremely important, but we should know what does it mean and what is necessary to accomplish the mission. Yes. So Varnashrama Dharma is great project. And it's needed for the whole society, no doubt. But we should know what does it mean. We should establish a king for the society, for everyone, not for just devotees. What kind of king is, if it's just for devotees and the state doesn't recognize such a king. So this king is impotent. We shouldn't have impotent kings. Kings should be powerful. Everyone should bow down to his command. So yes, we should accept all different instructions of our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada and try to fulfill them according to our means and the possibilities. So yes, and I should bother only with those responsibilities that I can fulfill. Yes, I can discuss Varnashrama Dharma endlessly, but I can't help very much. I don't have cows, I don't have farm, so I can speak something, but my action ends with speaking. Understand? So one who is able to contribute something substantial, he should act on this, and especially if he's ordered to. So we should know what we are ordered to, and act on these particular missions that we are ordered to, and never criticize others, even if they don't accomplish the mission. Yes, we should do our part as good as we can and pray for others and help others as we can. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your attention. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare